Hello. I don't know how well this microphone picks up on the sounds. Hopefully you can hear them in the background. The symphony of nature with all the bird song. This is really as noisy as this location gets much of the time. It's a world that is very tranquil, very much away from the hustle and bustle of a life that most of you, particularly if you're in a large town or a city, will be in. And it is the right conditions, because everything is subject to terms and conditions. It is the right conditions which allows me to do tarot card readings. Events of 2020, I'm sure you will agree, have definitely changed the world. And there is a split in humanity. It is called a spiritual evolution that is taking place. It is sorting out the wheat from the chaff. And through the unfolding of events subsequent to 2020, you may find that more and more that your perspective on life is somewhat rather different from those that will just follow the crowd, go with the herd, as it were. You've sort of been open up to question things, see things in a new way. But it comes often with almost a conflict or an oxymoron, where you'll be surrounded by those that are not on the same frequency. Often it can be close family members. Now, particularly if they are inclined to latch on to a belief system, perhaps a religion or something similar, that they will see things in a very different way and they will impede your spiritual growth. There is also the question of, if you happen to find yourself single, whether to be in a relationship with another. I'm talking like an intimate relationship here. Because when you are going through rapid spiritual growth, you are changing constantly at an accelerated rate. And really, for your spiritual well-being, the last thing you need are those around you that are going to pull you back down into that low vibration. So this is probably the ideal time to come and request a tarot card reading. It's not going to predict the future for you. It is going to look at your situation and tell you where you're at. If you look at the words tarot, an etymology is a very useful tool. But you look at the word tarot and look at it in reverse, you have tor, which is a door, and at. It's the door that you're at, the threshold point. Whether you cross over further into your spiritual path, or do you get pulled back down into that world of materialism and stuck in old patterns, or do you have it within you to keep going on your spiritual journey? The tarot card readings I give are probably very unique. Certainly the tarot deck I use, the Shining Woman, are very individual, and the readings I have developed are not following a layout, as far as I know, that anybody else does. And as I've shown in previous videos, it's almost self-referencing, with the layer of 4 cards that is representing the underlying nature that leads you to ask and request a tarot card reading, and then the 3 cards above that which will show you the present, where you are now, where you are at, the door that you are at, the Tor at, which is the tarot. So I invite you to get a perspective that looks at your situation from maybe like a higher perspective. It's effectively your higher self is guiding you to ask for a tarot card reading, which is going to then quantify the position you're in at the present moment in ways that probably we can't see when we're in the thick of it. It will give you a clarification, and this has come through very much in the feedback I've had from pretty much every reading that I have done. Okay, not maybe as many readings as many other tarot card readers, but there again, this is something new. I'm very much an unknown in this sphere. But it may seem uncomfortable, the information that you get at times, but a lot will resonate. I'm sure you have come across situations in your life where you offer a different explanation on something that is a widely held belief in something, and you'll get that reaction of possible anger and a sort of an attack. But the thing is to not take that personally. All that is showing you is the ones that are then attacking you, calling you crazy or whatever. It's because they've not done that inner work. They feel something inside themselves, this sensation, and it's a sensation that many people do not like to have that honest admission to if they've been fooled. Nobody likes to be fooled. But if you look at the tarot cards, what is that 0 card, which is also classed as the 22nd card? It is the Fool. It is the Fool's journey. The tarot cards reflect that Fool's journey that we're on. But is it really that foolish? Because what we're here to gain in this reality that we're just passing through is experience. And it does require taking steps, taking a leap into the unknown, being fearless, daring to be different, breaking pattern with old ways. That's not to say that you can't draw on traditions and things, particularly in culture. There is great value to be found in that, but it does require a discernment, and it does require looking at things in new ways. Personally, I have been doing this very recently as I'm going through all 108 of Joseph Haydn's symphonies. So you could say I've been hiding away, as it were, looking at these 108 symphonies, listening to them in chronological order, and it is revealing the daring to be different in Joseph Haydn, how he freed himself from the sort of restrictions of accepted musical forms which were very Italian dominated. Joseph Haydn is regarded as the father of the symphony because it was treated more as just a sort of warm-up, a prelude to an opera, but he took it and created a genre in its own right that many of the greats that followed emulated, such as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart with there's certainly 41 numbered symphonies, but there are actually more than that. And then, of course, Ludwig van Beethoven, Johannes Brahms, Anton Bruckner, just to name a few. And then going further, you have the development of the symphonic poem, which is inspired by art. And at the forefront of that was Franz Liszt. It's all about daring to be different, creating something new, drawing on the foundation of your own culture. this is very much a European thing for a start. But the tarot cards are far more universal, so it doesn't exclude anybody. But you may be in situations in the ordinary reality, as it were, the reality of employment, relationships, whether to relocate, all kinds of things, all manner of things that affect our daily lives. The tarot card readings will help clarify the situation of where you're at and give you, I'd like to think, a new perspective, a new way of looking at things objectively, which will then help you on a new trajectory that is going to help your spiritual growth, that will help you navigate through these perceived challenges that we all face one way or another. Yes, this is an idyllic location that I find myself in, and it is very conducive to creating tarot card readings. But it does come with its own set of challenges as well. But I would say on the whole, they are far more preferable challenges, and they come with less stress. So the service I provide hopefully will then give you new ways to look at things that will be less stressful. Looking at things, the same things that are happening in your life, but with a new perspective, which is far more positive. That is the purpose of the tarot cards. It's not to predict the future. It's not to just give you kind words. It is a realistic, honest and truthful assessment of your present situation, which draws on that creativity that the artists put heart and soul into in the illustrations on this particular set of cards. And it is quite amazing what comes through, and it is quite amazing how distinctly different every reading has been for every individual that has requested a tarot card reading. So I invite you to take up that challenge. It could be the very thing where you have that aha moment, which leads you to find that resolution around what may seem a very challenging situation in your life. Details are in the description under this video. So I look forward to hearing from you, and nothing would give me greater pleasure than to help you on your spiritual journey and help you find the next step on your spiritual journey, no matter what your situation is. So as always, unconditional love to you all.